Right, I need to make sure this actually sounds right on my end. Hopefully it does. To make sure this actually sounds right on my. Okay, it looks like it does. Should sound right now. Now, first of all, I know this camera quality is not that good at all, and the reason that is because my new webcam is coming tomorrow, and for now we just have to deal with this. Unfortunately, to be fair, the quality of webcam I'm getting is actually better than this, so and that's arriving Sunday, I think. So we're gonna have to make do. We're gonna have to make do with this now, but we have got a match preview to get into. I'm not going to be live for long because I am fucking starving. So if you are new around here, if you are new around here, subscribe, like, share, do whatever you have to do to help the channel grow. Yeah, there isn't much customization I can do with this at all. Yeah, this is proper jank, right? Um, Arteta press conference. Right, so Arteta has done he has done his pre-Burnley press conference. So we are going to go through that. Obviously, we had Burnley away at the weekend. To be fair, we've got a decent couple of games. I say decent. We've got games that we should be winning coming up. Obviously we've got Burnley away today. Then we've got Sunderland away in our next game, I believe. And then I believe after that it is Tottenham at the Emirates. We'll have a look at that now. Arsenal fixtures. So we have Burnley away tomorrow. We've got Slavia Prague on Tuesday. Sunderland away on the 8th of November. And then it looks like there is an international break. And then we have Tottenham at the Emirates. Tottenham, Bayern, Chelsea, Brentford ain't easy games at all. But just for now, we are going to focus on the Burnley game. We've got Burnley away at Turf Moor tomorrow. Those of you who are tuned in now, like, sub, and share the content around. Get your comments in. I will be reading comments out as per usual. And also feel free to interact with the comments. And feel free to interact with the live chat as well. So Arteta has taken his questions from the press conference. In regards to injury news, as it says in the title, he says that Martinelli is still out and Saliba, we've got to wait and see. We have another training session this afternoon, and the rest are still getting closer. I think in the right direction, but not available yet. So basically, Gabriel Martinelli is out. Saliba, they're not too sure about, which really does point towards the fact that Christian Mosquera will likely start alongside Gabriel. Now, to be fair, the fact that we have an international break coming up, in my opinion, I wouldn't even bother playing William Saliba. I'll wrap him up in cotton wool, get to the international break. I think our last game before that is Sunderland away, like I just said, and then we got Tottenham in the Emirates. So if it was up to me, I would play Mosquera these next few games because I think he's more than capable of doing that. Wrap Saliba up in cotton wool because we've got a big game against Tottenham after the break, which whether he goes to France for their international duty, I don't know, me personally. But yeah, like I said, I don't think he is. He's not worth risking at all. On the timeline for Gabriel Martinelli, he says that he doesn't know yet, but he thinks this game is going to come too early for him. Now, obviously, Martinelli's been out, so he won't be featuring anytime soon. On the timeline for Havertz, Madueke, Erdegaard, and Jesus, I would say weeks, and some of them pretty soon, hopefully. If they keep evolving, the way which they are doing, it's difficult to put a game, that we have an international break, like I said. May as well wrap them up in cotton wool now so that they don't get injured at the wrong time. Which is a 2 week break there, and then after that, I think we'll have some back. I don't know if it's going to be all of them, but some of them, but we'll be quite close by then. On keeping the momentum after going 8 straight wins, yes, and the momentum and maintain the level of urgency, the concentration, the focus, the ambition that we are showing every game. Every game brings different challenges. Sometimes we have to be very patient. Some other times we have to have a different approach. The game against Burnley is going to be a really tough. They are extremely well coached. I know Scott Parker really well, and what he's done with the club is formidable. When you look at all the games that I see, 5 of the last games that have played, they're a very tough team to beat. And yeah, Burnley, they're a very well coached side. I've not watched too much of them, but from what I've watched them, in highlights in the game against Liverpool in particular, they are a very, very, very well coached team defensively, just like us. But the problem is, they've not got attacking quality, and we do. So I think it will be a tough game tomorrow. I think we'll definitely win, but it's obviously down to breaking them down defensively, because we know they're going to have most of the ball. We know they're going to be happy to sit back in a low block in a low block at home, and if they take a point, they'll take that. A game against Arsenal, they will happily take that point. And even the game against Liverpool, although they lost it, they would have happily taken the point. But obviously, Hannibal, the fucking idiot, gave away that stupid handball when his arm was up there for no reason. There's a lot of random questions here. To be fair, I'm not reading half of these out. A lot of random fucking questions, isn't there? From this guy. On how competitive this season is, more than ever. I think the level is increasing year after year. Better structure, better organisation, better decision making from clubs, managers, better players. So it tells you the difficulty of that. When I look at the big teams, the way the promoted clubs have behaved and how they have earned points or lost points is from very small margins, and that's a reality in this league. And to be fair, if I'm not mistaken, the teams that are in the relegation zone now are the teams that were here last season. Yeah, Nottingham Forest, West Ham, and Wolves are in the drop zone, and the teams that got promoted, Sunderland are in 4th. It's crazy. And Leeds and Burnley 15th and 16th. And to be fair, based on their predicted performance, you probably would say that's a good outcome for them, because they wouldn't. I think most people would have probably predicted but those 3 to go down, but judging by the way some of the teams that overperformed and how bad the likes of Nottingham Forest, Wolves, and West Ham started the season, it's probably come as a complete surprise. But in terms of the league being competitive in the top end, the league is wide open. Let's just be real. I mean, we were all laughing at Manchester United. All of a sudden, they're how many points off? I can read the table, right? They're above Liverpool, the champions, and they are 6 points behind us. If you were to fuck around and lose tomorrow, and they were to beat Forest, all of a sudden there's a 3-point gap between us and Manchester United. And obviously you've got Bournemouth, who are up there, Tottenham, who are up there, Sunderland, who are up there, Man City. You can't not what's the word? You can't write Man City off, because we know what they're about. And Liverpool are up there, I guess. But then if they lose to Aston Villa, I think that happens tomorrow, late in the evening, then all of a sudden they're abouts as well for the European spots. And I think this season, the European spots, they will definitely be up for grabs this season. But 1 second, please. Right, I mean, am I back? I don't know what happened there, but should now, I think. Right, I don't know what the hell's going on here, but we are back anyway. But what was I saying? Yeah, the European spots, they're gonna be 100% up for grabs this season. Where was I? When they're picking the team is the worst part of his job. No, I cannot say that. It's the worst part in terms of decision with certain players when you don't allow them to play, which is the hardest part in our job. But they acknowledge that as well. And at the end, when they make decisions, some good, some bad, I'm not judging every decision that they make. We cannot do that. So the other way around, this cannot happen. So at the moment, we are dealing with it in a very positive way. And when you can see the consequences of that, that impacts even that every player is not playing as having, and when they have to play the way they are performing, and you only do that with good preparation and good mental state. To be fair, and this guy has fucked around with the lineup quite a bit this season, so I wouldn't be surprised if the likes of Eze and stuff like that they were looking at Mikel Merino starting and thinking, "What the hell is this guy doing here?" Um, but yeah, a lot of other random questions here. Not random crap, everyone, isn't there? On a number of fixtures in the season, every decision we make in terms of a fixture has to be guided by two main things. I think players' welfare and then supporters, that's it. And the rest has to come very, very far away from that. And we should never forget the principle. That's the only thing I'll say. To be fair, a lot of people do complain about the fixture pile-ups, and I think in terms of like, the likes of no boxing day fixtures, I think that's a bit of a piss take, and that's a bit annoying in my opinion. That's me personally anyway, because I enjoy when there's Boxing Day football. That's the best part about Christmas time. Is football almost every single day, and that's gonna be a bit different this year, but it's gonna be a bit annoying. But and in terms of the squad welfare, we have we have a squad now. We have players, and we have bodies to deal with that. The only problem is if we've got to rotate in our defensive midfield area, we've got the likes of Norgard who absolutely stank out the pitch on was it Wednesday night against Brighton? He was dreadful in that game. So if anything happens to Rice or Zubimendi, God help us. And going away from home, we go to a very different territory. Obviously, we use a different language for that, but at the end, the purpose and what we want to achieve in the game is very similar. But the context changes because we're in a different situation. I mean, to be fair, the the way that Burnley play at home is probably going to be the same if they were to come to the Emirates because they're going to sit in that low block. They're not really going to try to play football, and they will happily take a point. So it's just down to the mentality of going away from home. You're going away to a newly promoted side who have done okay this season. They haven't obviously they're relegation candidates for a reason, but they've done okay. So you just got to handle that part mentally. I'm hoping Noni, Kai, and Martin can be back for the North London derby. I'm excited because they are tremendous. They're tremendous players. Fair enough, Mikel. I see them work every single day. How desperate they are to be part of the team. The huge boost that this is going to be for the squad to have those players available again after such a long time. I'm really happy that I think it's going to be very soon. Again, haven't got to rush him back. In terms of Odegaard, he's been injured quite a few times already, so I don't even think about rushing him back. It's a long season. Noni, to be fair, he was playing all right when he came into the side, and he was giving us something that Bukayo Saka wasn't. He was, he was offering, a bit more of a direct approach than Bukayo Saka, but Saka has the quality in the final third. This guy doesn't. That's the only issue. If you were to put Noni and Saka in one player, we'd be sorted. However, and to be fair, I'm not saying Saka can't be direct because he can, but Saka's been so robotic ever since Arteta got hold of him, is that he does get predictable at times. And that's not me putting any shade on Bukayo Saka because he's a quality player, but it is something to point out. And again, a lot of random questions. Right. On trying to go one step further in the Premier League, at the end, you learn that the margins to achieve it or not are many. It can be an opposition player is 1-on-1 against a keeper and he scores a goal, you are the champion. The other keeper saves it, you are not the champion. It could be injuries, decisions, excuses. It could be a mistake. There can be so many factors that we cannot afford, cannot control. What we can control is what we can do the best. There are many factors that have to go our way. You can do that a lot of great things, and still a lot of things that have to go your way. The injuries and the players that you have to play, and they have to be there, and their personal lives have to be perfect because if not, it can unbalance. It's so many things, and it's still so long. We've already seen that the turnaround in the league is going to go into the Champions League is the same. Other leagues are the same. We are in a very specific context right now. So let's focus day by day. Now, that is all good and all. However, this guy, whenever we lose a game, can find any single excuse as to why we never won it. He complained about the ball, that ride on the same. Newcastle away when we lost 1-0. It's embarrassing, guys. It's a disgrace. That's the same guy that said that, And he's saying that, and I'm not surprised that he's brought up, injuries and stuff like that when up until this season, you built this squad. So with the money you spend, injury should not be an excuse at all. Decisions. Okay, if we get a decision against us in the game, you've got 90 minutes to amend that mistake. And I don't want to hear anything when it comes to, what about if you go down to 10 men? You can win games with 10 men. You can absolutely win games with 10 men. So if a decision goes against you, that's not an excuse to not be winning games. You can still win them. But that is it from the press conference. There was so much waffle I genuinely could not be asked to read out, if I'm being completely honest. But yeah, we do play Burnley away tomorrow. In terms of lineup, like I said, I think Mosquera will play. Trossard will play. It'll be David Raya in goal, obviously. Calafiori will probably start. Gabriel, Mosquera, Timber, Zubi, Rice, Eze, Trossard, Gyökeres, and then Bukayo Saka. That lineup pretty much speaks itself. I think it is unchanged against Palace, I'm pretty sure. I think. Yeah, so pretty much an unchanged team from Palace apart from Mosquera coming in. Score prediction wise, I'm going to go 3-0 Arsenal. I think we will score some goals. Burnley just aren't that good, let's be real. And whether we break them down with a set piece, whether we break them down, carving them open, like the goal that we scored against Brighton in the Cup, I want to see more goals like that. But a flick from Marino, the little one-touch football between him, Skelly, and one area. I want to see that a lot more. And we can play that football. We absolutely can play that football. The only thing is, can we do it on a consistent basis? But we've got to wait and see. But that is it for me. Like, sub, and share the content around. And I'll see you guys in a bit for the match reaction tomorrow.